Vikings lose. A lot to get into. Let's start. Happy-ish Monday, Vikings fans. Obviously, a little bit of frustration after the 27-19 loss to the Ravens yesterday, and what was a very, very winnable game. A lot to get into with this, and we are going to get in, and we're going to get into it heavy. We know we have a lot of different opinions, a lot of different thoughts. We have our own as well. Now, like overall with this game, had you told me that Lamar Jackson would have 176 passing yards and Jackson and Henry would have combined for about 100 rushing yards, I would have told you we probably win that game. A lot of reasons why we didn't. From the top down, like I said, we'll get into all of it. But yeah, at the end of the day, that game yesterday was about as frustrating of a game as I've watched in a while. I mean, just one step forward, two step back. It just seems to be kind of the theme of the 2025 Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. And as I said, it's a top down thing. We'll go through all of it throughout the night here. But yeah, I guess at the end of the day, just frustrating. You know, you're 4-5, 1-3 at home. I mean, obviously the false starts are a big thing. And again, that is a top down issue that starts with coaching, goes down to the players. Not really getting clarity on what exactly was the issue. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of a frustrating type of game. And at the end of the day, you end up losing only by one score. You're in it the whole time. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough game to lose.
Yeah, dude. And I think that's a great thing, or I guess a great example, a great thing to say is just this 2 step forward, 1 step back type of situation here. Or one step forward, 2 steps back? Yeah. That's kind of, yeah. It's more, yeah. I would say it's more of that than 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Hopefully we get to that part of things. But yeah, obviously after beating Detroit, massive win. You go home in a place that we've been struggling in for whatever reason. Obviously penalties, we're going to get into all of that. But a game that felt like you could have won. The defense really did well, held them down to the first 4 scores were field goals. Our red zone defense was great in the beginning for sure. And then our offense, I mean, we were winning for more than half this game, and we just couldn't. We started making mistakes, and obviously, JJ McCarthy had 2 interceptions, and one of them I don't put on him. But then on top of that, you have what I would in my day. It's hard to say it was a dagger, but the part that felt like the tides were turned and it was going to be hard to win this one was the special teams fumble, and then of course you go back again on another kick return and fumble it again, but you get that one back. But still, it's just one of those things where you're just like, oh, like we're in one of those little stretches, like of everything going wrong. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. And that's what was happening in the middle of this game here. But yeah, I mean, this felt like one that you could have won and you didn't. Not everything went around along the way that you wanted to. JJ McCarthy, I know a lot of people are kind of definitely harping on him now. And we're going to get into him in a little bit here. Up and down game. It was a game. I mean, definitely was some ups, and not everything was his fault. Definitely, like the second interception, I do not put on him. Justin Jefferson slipped. Generally, at the very least, I can't imagine that getting intercepted. Still some missed passes, things like that. But other than that, it's just kind of an up and down game from him. But we'll get into that a little bit more. And just, from a coaching standpoint, not enough running, not enough. And I know our guy Nick over here, and what's up, everybody, by the way, welcome in. Nick is definitely not happy at the moment here. Again, this man, KFC, is a fucking idiot. Y'all got to start singing Never in My Life or Have I Such a Certified Asshat. This motherfucker refuses to run the ball in 3 and short. So one thing about that, though, I do want to mention, which I don't know, I do disagree. And he's been up and down too at points, mostly good though, in my opinion. When it comes to Kevin O'Connell, the running thing was a problem. I do understand on that specific spot that you're 3rd and 1. If you have Justin Jefferson one-on-one, and what it sounds like Kevin O'Connell did say they were planning on going for it on 4th down, at that point, then that's a good play call. I don't care what you say. 3rd and 1. I agree. If you have a chance to score a touchdown, you go fucking take that chance. You don't.
I mean, because you don't get Justin Jefferson lined up one-on-one in zero coverage with no safety help often. Yes, so when you get that, you take that. And if Justin Jefferson doesn't fall, and yes, we'll talk about him later. But if Justin Jefferson doesn't slip and fall on that one, I mean, that's probably a touchdown, or at least an explosive play that gets you right back into this game instead of a turnover.
Yeah, and then at the very least, you're just 4th and 1, and then you run it there, and you might not get it. Who knows? But I would just say, like, you could argue that no, I just take the yards, okay. But at the same time, knowing that they were planning on going for it on 4th down anyways, it didn't. At the time, we were both like, yeah, that is fucking stupid. But now hearing that, you're like, why the fuck would you not do that?
And then realizing exactly what the coverage was, right? And then another thing I will give him, I mean, I know people don't like this. I love going for 2 when he did, because you get the ball back, you score, extra point wins the game.
Yeah.
So,
analytics say to do it.
It was stupid. I disagree, because you had to score twice anyway. I liked it. I liked the aggressiveness of wanting to put yourself in a touchdown extra point wins you the game instead of tying it and going to overtime. I honestly love the decision.
And the analytics say to do that. So
yeah,
what's going on, Gary?
I don't know, but then the too much is on the line with that last one though to win. I get it; it still would be, but I don't know. I like it. I like the decision to go for 2 in that scenario.
Typical KLC, same issues every week. Is exhausting to repeat. Must the insane 160. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. Two toned in the building. KLC is failing JJ by not calling runs. I do agree on. We're gonna get into him specifically. I do agree on the run stuff. You should be doing more of that 100%. And obviously we'll get into that in a second here. Vocal Vike. I know there's one guy that's been screaming for running. It's my guy RAP over there. What's going on, dude? Please fuck with this 3rd and 1 call, run the goddamn ball. You go for 2 in the game. Frozen North, what up, dude?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Even the 2-point conversion, like the analytics say to go for it. Like a lot of teams are gonna go for it on that situation. So I get it. Though I get it. But at the same time, like I'm not going to go against Kevin O'Connell for fucking growing a pair and going for shit like that. I'm sorry. You guys can do that. I know. I'm surprised Nick even says it, because he's the one that like wants to say like everyone's being a bunch of pussies. I mean, you got to give Kevin O'Connell some credit for not being a pussy in that situation. And even though the analytics said it, and especially the 3rd and 1, I get it. You should run the ball sometimes, but in that one, like Justin Jefferson 1-on-1, you're going to go on 4th anyways. I can't. Like when I know that was the scenario that was going to play out, I'm like, I want him to do that, dude. I don't want him to be so conservative. That doesn't mean don't run the ball at all. He should have definitely ran more often, but knowing the back end of that play, I don't know. Makes me feel a bit different.
And I kind of like the play call worked. It was just they defended that really well. Like the kind of the rub row getting Jefferson on the left side there. Like it was a good play. It was just better. It was just better defense.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not necessarily it. I mean, he never said, I mean, I don't know. I just like the idea of going for 2. I'm cool with that.
I didn't even listen to, I actually didn't even listen to Kevin O'Connell's press conferences just because I'm annoyed of the game. So I'll wait and listen to it later, but I didn't even go out and listen to it. But I did hear the thing with the 3rd and 1 and they're going for it on 4th down. And what up, T-Bass, by the way? But if he had a pair, he would have benched Jefferson after that interception where he didn't even try and make a tackle. Yeah, because everyone is going to be happy with Kevin O'Connell if he benches Justin Jefferson.
Except for someone that doesn't want O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, or JJ McCarthy here.
Yeah, that's different. If you want all of them to fail, then yeah, it makes sense. And with Kevin O'Connell, like, I don't know. I get it, and we're going to get into him in a little bit here, and we're going to be critical, and I do think he deserves to have critics and play calling and the running the ball. I think that, but it doesn't mean everything he does sucks, because if it wasn't, he wouldn't be coach of the year. He wouldn't be all these other things. I don't know. I feel different. Why not? SKOL. Gary, they have a new thing on here where you can like stream through like a shorts video and long form horizontal like this. So there's 2 different ones going on right now. Lenience is gone. Hey, what's going on? FT Maddie in the building. Georgia Blunt in the middle. Welcome back. And that's fair. And I feel like a lot of people are on that train. I'm not. He's shown too much good so far as a head coach for me to just be like, yeah, kick him out. I think someone else can come in here and just do better.
So you're probably not.
Yeah, on top of that. Right away. But I don't know. I'm not at a point where I'm like, fire Kevin O'Connell. Yeah.
No, me neither. Nope. And I think and that's the thing. We've made that clear. Like, I'm not I don't know. I stick to my guns with that type of stuff. Like you said, I've seen too much good, and I get it. You got to talk about the bad too, but it happens with every play caller, head coach in the game. There's always critics, people questioning them, people wanting them to do a lot of things that they just don't do. Like, it happens, and I get it. It's frustrating. But at the end of the day, like you said, I've just seen way too much good out of Kevin O'Connell coaching this team, especially with how this season has gone with, your rookie quarterback comes in, he goes out, comes back in. Just it's been a bumpy road, and I get that every team deals with it, but I don't know. You got to weather the storm and just see where you end up. But I don't know.
And I would continue to say, and this is about to pop. It's not up yet, but I would say that continues to be a fair criticism as far as like this consistent play calling from Kevin O'Connell and that idea. It's not going to happen. But that there's no way Kevin O'Connell is going to do it. But the idea of someone coming in and calling the plays instead of Kevin O'Connell. And I would also say, like, I'm more of an optimistic Viking fan in general. But if you think I'm not asking, if I feel like I think someone doesn't need to be here, I'll say it. I was not on the Kevin or the Kirk Cousins train. I was one of the last people. I was one of the how would you explain that? Like I was one of the last people on the train to let him leave at one point. And then same with like Zimmer and all. Like, I liked some of Zimmer, and then I didn't like what he was doing anymore. So I don't know. I just don't feel the same thing when it comes to Kevin O'Connell. I think he's shown enough good.
And this is one of those things, like, it is kind of a likability thing, because Zimmer was the same way. Zimmer was stubborn, but he was kind of a dick about it. So like, I definitely do I definitely see that point of it. But again, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it's, again, I mean, we already said, I just feel like there's too much. I've seen too much good from this man, at least as a head coach, to just be overall, and the offense has produced in the past. I mean, people wanted Darnold back because he threw for 4,000 passing yards last year, and we ran. I mean, Aaron Jones had 1,000 rushing season. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, but he's gone through how many iterations of this team? You could keep bringing up the playoffs. I get it. It's important, but like, he's gone through how many iterations of this team? How many different quarterbacks? Like, I don't know. I think this is finally the year when it's like, this is the start of what this team had been planning for since they got here.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, how many coaches are doing any of that shit? Like, what do you like? You think you're just going to go out and get Bill Belichick? Even though ever since Tom Brady left, even he couldn't do it anymore. It's like, you're not going to go get in you just think Andy Reid's, you're just going to go get in Andy Reid. Like, how many coaches are out there and haven't won a playoff game? Tons of them. All of them. Most of them. It's like, there's not, I don't know. I think that's crazy. And like, that's different. Like, winning a playoff game, I'm not aiming to win playoff games. I want a Super Bowl. Like, yeah.
I mean, you have to win playoff games to get to.
You do, but I'd like to see him win a playoff game, but that's not like, I don't know. That's just, and we've been doing the competitive rebuild thing, So I'm like, this isn't even, I don't know, this season, we got to live out, whether you like it or not, you're going to live out the next 2 years of Kevin O'Connell's and Kwesi's plan. This was a competitive rebuild. This is obvious. I would say we're in more competitive zone, but you have a rookie quarterback in JJ McCarthy. I think the next 2 years, that's when things should be more critical, because that's the whole plan was about these next 2 years. So I don't even know
what a winning standard. I mean, he's won 13 games twice over 3.5 seasons. I mean, that's
not, and he has the most comebacks ever in NFL history, the biggest comeback in NFL history.
Like, I don't necessarily agree with.
He's coached. He's got these players to a point where they feel like they can come back and win in any game. That has never been seen in NFL history. I mean, you can say a lot of things, and you can say, and maybe that's not enough to win a Super Bowl. I don't know, but I have a hard time believing you're just going to go get some other coach like Duval, who was the prize coach the season he was supposed to come in, and he just got fired today. And he was like supposed to be that guy, the one. He was the favorite to actually, he won Coach of the Year, didn't he? Over Kevin O'Connell his first year.
Yeah, I think he did.
He did. He won Coach of the Year.
After
so
he won
like,
a playoff game over Kevin O'Connell that year too, I guess.
Yeah, he did. He did actually. He won one, and now he doesn't have a jump. But I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not. It doesn't even matter because they're going to be here anyways. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We already talked a lot about. But let's jump right into JJ McCarthy's game specifically. We'll come back to Kevin O'Connell. I'm just not. I don't know. I'm not there with Kevin O'Connell yet. as far as like it's just time. Like you're not gonna fire. Like he's not gonna get fired. He just got coach of the year. I don't know. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But keep it on rolling here. JJ McCarthy in this game specifically, ups and downs. Obviously, we mentioned it earlier. I'm sorry, but it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. It's to be expected. He's going to have ups and downs. He's had pretty much every game has been ups and downs, but with a lot of ups, including this one, had plenty of ups, some downs. And honestly, outside of winning, in my opinion, outside of beating the Lions last week, and yes, he ended up 2 touchdowns and 1 on the ground. Overall, like, I don't think JJ McCarthy really played that much worse or better. Well, obviously not better, but that much worse than he did last week. He just continues to have a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of potential. Like, in my opinion, oozes potential, who has yet to get his accuracy down and things like that, which I was going to expect. And I want him, and then his couple, ill-advised throws that he should probably not do. But those are things that I expect from a quarterback who's played his 4th NFL game in his career or whatever. So overall, I guess my just take on JJ McCarthy in this game is I was impressed by a lot of things from him, a lot more than a lot of people. I'm actually really surprised on how many people were ready to trash the shit out of him. Of course, I shouldn't be surprised, but even some people who are big JJ McCarthy people are kind of against him a little bit more than I was expecting. Like, I get it. It's fair to be criticize him, but I'm like, there's still so much talent in this kid. And like, we're going to show a little video here, and yeah, I get it. You're showing highlights or whatever, but this kid has all the talent to do everything that you want in a quarterback, and he just has to continue to get his accuracy and stuff up. And if you think it's impossible, that's never going to happen in his 4th game ever. You just have to be more patient.
Yeah, and I do think this is going to be the biggest game of his career to this point, where he's going to be able to look at this tape and he's going to be able to see so many things on either side of the aisle here, right? I mean, he's going to see those big moments, the pretty much every throw to Jalen Naylor, the ability to scramble, the ability to hit first downs, that type of stuff. But then he's also going to go and see the first interception, where he could have easily stepped up and probably picked up that first down with his legs. He's going to see the multiple throws in the 4th quarter where he's getting too amped up, as kind of he's admitted himself, and O'Connell has talked about as well. He's getting too amped up and missing throws. His mechanics get out of whack, too many batted balls. Like, he's going to be able to see both sides of the aisle. Like, man, I can do this so well. I just got to do more of this instead of this other stuff. And they even talked about it on the halftime show, where Howie Long, he's like, I did question their decision to move on from Darnold and keep him here. But now that I've seen him play, I see what they're doing, and I think he's going to be good once he gets more reps. And like Michael Strahan said, like that interception, the first one, like, yeah, he's going to go back and see that. Now that he's experienced it, he's going to go back, watch the tape, and realize, like, oh darn, I could have done this, and he's going to make adjustments based off of that. Now, are we for sure going to see those things? Maybe not. It might not work out. Who knows? But there's just so many things from this last game he's going to be able to see and learn from, while holding on to the things that he's done well. And I fully expect him to take that in stride and do that. So, I mean, like you said, way more ups. I mean, yeah, a lot of downs, but also a lot of ups that he can build off of as well. So, I don't know.
Overall, tons of insane stuff. That's why, T-Bass, I know you sent this to me, and I'm like, I just disagree with you. I think Tom Brady came from a system. There's system quarterbacks that succeeded in the NFL, like, all the time. It happens all the time. And that's what, like, I don't get it. Like, it's so easy. Like, man, it's just like everyone's just waiting for JJ McCarthy to have the bad game that everybody agrees that's bad, so they can go against him after beating an individual or in-division opponent at their home the way that JJ McCarthy did with a dagger. And then immediately now this week, JJ McCarthy can't be it. And now you don't draft quarterbacks in the top 10. That was a system quarterback. And even this thing right here with Miles Price, like, come on. What are you talking about? Miles Price has looked fucking good all year. He's going to have a fumble. Yeah. I mean, unless you're just saying that, like, okay, this game, he was not great. Sure. Does that mean we should cut him? We should go find someone else? Because we've been searching for a punt return, kick returner for like 10 years. that kind of stuff just don't make no sense. Of course, everyone's not going to be good. Justin Jefferson. I know some of you are probably like, yeah, it's time to trade Justin Jefferson because he's fucking ass now because he had one fucking bad game in the last like 3 years. It just makes no sense. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Just patience out here.
Right.
Patience.
And yes, it was a bad game by Miles Price. Like
it was a bad game, but still.
That return, that fumble was definitely the turning point of this game. I don't remember Wongwu returning punts. We were kind of talking more punt returners. We also had Cordell Patterson,
but even kick returner. I mean, I like Keeney.
Marcus Sherrill was the last good punt returner we had. We have not had a good punt returner about 10
years. But then even kick returner, I like Keeney, but he got injured. He looked good his rookie season, got injured, and then he never really was that great after that. It's halfway.
I disagree with this.
What do you mean?
Patience is out the window. I mean, it hasn't been half a year for McCarthy. Look, if he's playing
4 games for McCarthy,
4 games into next season, we'll have these conversations. Right?
Exactly.
I don't know. I disagree with this. I mean,
that one's really bad. Like you're 4 games into a quarterback's NFL career, and his patience is out the window. Come on, my man. I'm not talking about McCarthy. You're talking about just the season in general.
But McCarthy's kind of a big part of how the season's gonna go.
He's like the face of. He is the roller coaster. He is the roller coaster with all the way from his injuries and everything like that. He's the roller coaster of the season. That's what's to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, because if he doesn't play great, then the team's not going to look as good as it could. So I don't know. I came into the season knowing that guess what, it might be rough, and by the end of the year. Yeah, you might. I mean, I don't know. I figured this season might have a lot of those scenarios where you're just like you're a little bit stressed out. But that's why I came into this year not expecting a ton. And it's like I want to see how McCarthy develops. Like if we win 8 games or maybe even 7 games and he looks decent by the end of the year and you feel like you have something, I've always said I'm fine with that, especially after you make that decision to roll with him this year. So I don't know. This whole season for me is a patience thing where it's just like it might not look pretty. But you got to just see how McCarthy develops throughout the year.
Yeah. And T-Bass, maybe he wasn't drafted top 10 pick because that GM was taking your advice. Maybe he would have been. Maybe that GM was like, hey, you don't pick top 10. We don't want Tom Brady because he was a system quarterback. Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah. I don't know. I
got you, Nick. I got you. I know.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that the people that want to move on from him or say he doesn't have it, all this stuff, it's way too early to tell.
Yep.
And for some reason it's like a bad thing to try to point out the good things. Like, no, being a good fan and being fair is you got to be critical. It's like, yeah, sure. But also you got to realize like, it's going to take time. It's not going to be a perfect, like he's not going to look good right away. Like, no. I don't know.
I don't like it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like Cam Ward was a number 1 overall pick. And obviously, like, I'm sure there's people over there saying he's complete ass and stuff. But I'm like, dude, even I don't care how bad you are. Caleb Williams was straight ass last year. Drake May was not good last year. And look how those guys are. I guarantee you there was fans for the Patriots who were like, Drake May is not that guy and had no patience. Like, of course there was.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to happen.
Caleb Williams actually overall stat wise had a solid. I think he only had under 10 interceptions. Like he did have a solid year last year, but again, he played more years in college. Like was on multiple different offenses where they had him do more. So I don't know.
But I mean, but as far as like maybe statistically, as far as you're talking about a guy that what was the Bears record last year after they were supposed to be division winners.
Hail Mary.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah. And I think this is what's stuck in the heads of too many Vikings fans is, oh no, he's another Christian Ponder. And it's just, and that was the whole thing about keeping Darnold. It was just the nervousness of what if he's not good? It's like, well, then guess what? You take a chance and we waste 4 years and everybody gets fired and you start over again. Like that's always a possibility, right? Anytime anybody drafts a quarterback.
But what is people supposed to do? So when McCarthy has a good game, everybody's so quick to come on YouTube. But first off, everybody's super quick to come to every social media to talk about how ass he is, first off, but how great he is. But when he has a bad game, it's give him time. It's always been give it time. Last week, he didn't have that great of a game. His game wasn't that good, but he went and he made some really big touchdowns, had a huge dagger throw, overall, that was like a C game. And we said it. Like, we didn't come in here and be like, oh, JJ McCarthy is the next Tom Brady. I mean, we said that in a YouTube video pretty much. But we never said that. We said we were straight up like JJ McCarthy didn't have that good of a game. But what do you expect from his fourth game? Ultimately, he beat a divisional opponent in Detroit at their home in an area that Detroit doesn't lose at very often. I just think that's like a totally different thing. It's called patience. When you say how great, like, come on YouTube and talk, or so, but when he has a bad game, it's give it time. What do you expect? It's his fourth game of his career. You're not supposed to give that guy time.
And we're not on here trying to be just negative. Like, no offense, but you seem to be sometimes. Like, it's almost like you're looking for those negatives so you can point them out. And then every time he does well, you're like, well, we got to watch him play. Like, what's wrong with being a little bit excited about your young quarterback and his development?
And seeing the potential in them. And see the potential in them. Did that. I get it.
I don't know.
Yeah, entirely. Tom Brady's not the only guy with the system thing. But anyways, I want to just show a video, and I know there's going to be some people like, oh yeah, it's easy to show his highlights or whatever, but let's put it up here because I do want to see, like, this is what this kid has in his bag. And you can say all you want about his bad game or him having a bad game and missing throws and still some ill-advised throws, for sure. Fine. That's going to happen. But if you think he can't work off of what you're about to see right now and get any better, that is besides me. Because this kid has everything that you want from a quarterback. You should be drooling for the fact that this kid could get better and he could figure it out from an accuracy standpoint, and he should, for sure. But yeah, let's run it. And this, by the way, get out of this real quick. Just I want to call out is this again? So call out Case here with this video, Case Media, whatever. Put this together. But I do want to. All right, you can start it over though. Yeah, start it over. Let's go through some. These are his highlights. Easy to go through. So okay. So run that back real quick.
Yeah. So again, like this is poise, and people talk about looking like deer in the headlights those first couple games, but this is literally like poise and standing in there and making a throw, and you have one of the best defensive players in the league coming straight at your face.
Boom. Like, come on, T-Bass. Come on. You don't want your quarterback to be able to do that? I mean, I don't know. That's not everybody's can do that. Not everybody even has the balls, especially your fourth career game in the NFL, to stand up tall and throw a strike like that. First off, that has to do with just his arm strength in general. And this one here.
Can't throw left, not accurate.
And doesn't have any touch on his ball. That was a nice shoulder shake.
There's a lot to build off here.
Like, you can't watch this and be like, oh, this kid has nothing, no chance. That should have been a touchdown.
Best receiver hit him right in the hands. And the offensive line actually protected really well this game too. Got to give them a ton of credit.
Yeah.
And that right there is one of those throws that O'Connell was talking about last week, where it's like if you hit him in stride, they're able to take the ball and pick up some yardage. He didn't do that last week. This week in that scenario at Addison, he did it.
And this one, I mean, come on. When was the last time I had anyone that could do any of that? And then some people be like, oh, but the throw was high. Shut the fuck up. Come on. I've heard people say that. Here, run it back real quick on that one. Just come on. I mean, this is a kid that feels pressure, can escape this type of pressure and make a play on the run. Like, you don't hope this kid his accuracy gets better. You don't hope every game gets a little bit more accurate. I just don't see why. And then this, I mean, by the way, this was was this fourth down? The last one was fourth down. I believe that one was also fourth down. Obviously has his legs. I don't know.
Like, again, it's one of those things, just a ton to build off of there. Yes, the negatives come with it. We get that. But yeah, it was a ton to work with.
Yeah, there's enough. There's just every time I watch him, you see everything you want in your quarterback. And then the accuracy issues, and that's fair. I wasn't expecting him to come out here and be a 70% accuracy quarterback right out of the gate. This is his fourth career game at this point. Obviously, that's something that we're going to continue watching moving forward. And I'm also going to like, this is a year thing. Like I'm giving him this entire year. If it's week 18 and he's throwing 50% with 2 interceptions that make no sense, I'd be a little worried at that point. But in his 4th game, I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why like next year, if it's 4 games in next year, and you're still seeing a lot of the same stuff, then yes, then you're going to have more of a harsh conversation, especially since that'll be his 3rd year in the league. He only has 1 more year left on his rookie deal. You can cut bait with him then. Like, but I mean, the cold hard truth is they're giving him the rest of this year, and he's going to be the #1 quarterback going into next year. I saw Mike Florio is already talking like, do they need competition for him next year? No, they don't. Like he is going to be your guy for this season, and to start the next one, and then you kind of go from there depending on how it starts. But I don't know. I think there's a ton to work with here, and that's the main storyline of this season. Like if you see enough to work with, growth points, learning points, which he's going to have a ton of from this game. Like and that's why by the end of the season you just want to see less and less of those issues and more completions, and that comes in with this. Like 50%, it's not acceptable for sure.
It's not.
But
he's 58%, which is still unacceptable.
This last game under 50, and like I get that. Like,
it's not.
Well, and
you have to get better
as he's gone through games. Yes, his accuracy has waned a little bit, and I think that again, that's him getting too amped up, and that is on coaching. Like you got to get into his, like you got to try to find a way to calm your guys down a little bit and just have him go out and play without being, because that's when he's missing these throws, too amped up, and like you said, like you said, the mechanics get a little wonky, and that's what leads to some of the overthrows. So look, but you're gonna see that type of stuff. And you hope, and that's where he needs to develop and learn from watching the tape and listening to his coaches.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like that we want to see progress. So like even going back to this game, my main thing, now I got new things, but my main thing going in this one is I didn't want to see any of these little mental errors at the line of scrimmage as far as like botch snaps, the running backs being in the wrong place. He didn't have anything like that in this game, but now we have the penalty thing. There's a new thing here. And now he could, and he did make, last week he made 2 throws that were, you should never make. This week he made 1 throw, in my opinion, that you should never make, which was that first intercept, or that you should never throw, which was that first interception. So that's why going into this next week against the Bears, like this is going to be a game where I don't want to see any of those bonehead mistakes. I'm hoping not anyways. That's what I'm aiming for. Maybe he throws an interception, but maybe it's not like, maybe the throw wasn't a terrible decision or whatever. I don't know, but he's had a couple very terrible decision throws, whatever. I wasn't expecting him to never do that. It's crazy to think that he'd never be able to do that. So far, it's easy to say that he's been up and down, but one thing for sure is like, we're not watching Christian fucking Ponder out there. Christian Ponder could not do what we just showed you guys. He was not capable of that. And JJ McCarthy is. And JJ McCarthy does have the mentality, and he has played his best football that we have seen him play have been in most important parts of the game so far, and in biggest moments on 3rd downs and 4th downs and things like that. Like that's massive to have that in the bones of a raw quarterback.
Yeah. And yes, having him throw 42 times a game is pretty lame, especially when you're in, like, you really weren't out of this game at any point throughout the game. So yes, I agree. You do got to run the ball more, but the other issue I see is that if we do run the ball more, people are going to be seeing they don't trust JJ McCarthy to throw. So he's just like he was at Michigan, just hand the ball off and don't throw the ball.
Because people will say that.
Exactly. Like people,
but obviously it should,
but you get it. Like, especially because look, the reason I feel like he looked so comfortable last week and made some of those throws throughout the game was because of the run game. Because we did run the ball 29 times last week or something like that. So yeah, 100%. Like I agree. Like you can't have your young quarterback drop back and throwing 42 times, especially when you're in the game throughout the entirety of the game.
Right.
But at the same time,
especially when we're running good, and we might as well just cutting, but we just go in KOC.
Right. Yeah. And look, I mean, when it comes down to the flags, like, yeah, that was weird. Like 8 false starts at home is kind of crazy. And I mean, like Nick said earlier, and it's 100%, and it's 100% true. Like the penalties have been an issue all season long. Right. And they're just sloppy, undisciplined penalties. I mean, we've had 2 games at home where we've had more than 4 false starts, and you can't have that. Is it the cadence? Is it, McCarthy and the hard count? I don't care what it is. When it happens, you got to find a way to fix it. And it's unacceptable. And at the end of the day, it is. And it's been an issue like every year that we're not good. You feel like there's always like that one issue. Like back in 2023, it was fumbling. Like we started off 0-4 because we couldn't hold on to the football. A lot of fumbles.
Turnovers.
And then eventually when you started having better ball security, you kind of grew out of that. And then the team started to hit their stride. And then the Josh Dobbs things happened, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so like 100%, like, yes, things need to be better. I get that. And he does need to change up his offense with a young quarterback. I also get that. But also, a lot of these plays, there was open receivers and McCarthy did miss them, as we talked about. So, look, I'm not one of those people calling for O'Connell's head. I'm also not calling for him to hand play calling duties off to Wes Phillips because I just don't think he's going to do that.
No, he's not.
Does he need to adjust? Sure. Does he need to run the ball more? Sure.
Yeah.
I know he mentioned that yesterday. I mean, again, is it true? Is it not? Is he just saying it? Whatever. But he's like, we're running the ball well. I wish I'd have gotten more opportunities, but I saw some things I wanted to attack, which is fine. But also, like when the run game is getting over 6 yards a carry, he's probably leaning into that a little bit more. So I do understand the criticisms of that, and it's only gonna help the play action game, which is going to put McCarthy in better situations as well. So yes, that is one thing is a fair gripe. Like you do want to run the football a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm just not as up in arms and pitchforks and torches aren't out as much as everybody else is right now.
Yeah. It's just easy to do that, I think. And with Kevin O'Connell, I agree with everything with the running. I would say on that 3rd and 1, after going back and hearing Kevin O'Connell say that we're going for it on 4th, the one-on-one situation with Justin Jefferson, I totally agree with what they ended up doing there. But other than that, you have, 14 total attempts. And then from the week before, we had 29 attempts against the Lions, something like that. So it's just like, how do you go? I don't like that. Like, how do you go from 29 back to 14? And my problem with this one is there was like almost a combined yards per carry between Jones and Mason. It was like 6 yards per carry. So I'm like, it was obvious the running the ball was effective. Right. And you should continue to do that more. I do think, especially like I kind of respect that you're letting JJ like really go out there and do his thing, I guess. But at the same time, like help him a bit. Like it's okay to help him a bit. And then he's going to play. Kevin O'Connell's going to play his game, I guess. But still, like I am team definitely like get the run game going more.
Yeah, don't especially since the game script was never out of hand till late in the 4th quarter. Like that's the other big thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. So Kevin O'Connell there, the penalties, just hitting on that real quick I can't like maybe some of the blame's on JJ McCarthy. I can't imagine all of that. That's been a problem throughout this whole season, I think. Not just with JJ McCarthy, because I don't know what he could probably, unless he's literally saying the wrong snaps, the snap counts to his offensive lineman, which is possible, I guess. But I really feel like that's unlikely that he's doing that 8 times. Maybe we'll see something that hopefully we see get a better next week. And then just the turnovers in this as well. Like it's like, I know it's so easy for everyone to just go trash JJ McCarthy in this game, but it's like, you ain't going to win a lot of games by losing the penalty battle and the turnover battle. And we didn't get a single turnover, which was kind of unlucky. There's like 4 passes that were tipped up and fell right in between like 3 of our defenders. And we just could not get one. And then of course, on the other side, they had 3 turnovers against us in this one, and it's tough to win in that game. And honestly, it really, like when you lose the penalty battle to that extent that we did, and then 3 turnovers to 0 on our side, and you're still had an opportunity to go down and tie this game, is wild to me as well. And it just shows you like there's stuff on this team, man. There's just mistakes happening that need to be fixed. And I can't promise that they will. They've been fixed at times at games, but consistently, we just have not seen that this year. And obviously that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, and outside of the false starts, like I thought the offensive line gave McCarthy plenty of time in the pocket to make those throws, as well as obviously some good push for the running game as well, which 13 times though, that's not enough for sure, especially with the way that Aaron Jones has been running as of late. And Jordan Mason had a good game yesterday too. Now he's kind of got some more fresh legs, not having to be the guy.
Yeah. So from a coaching standpoint, again, like Casey said it before, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And that's kind of how it's starting to feel.
And I said, I didn't hate that. I did not hate him going for 2 in that scenario. I really didn't. Like, I don't want to say, I do feel like we've gotten to an extent where it's like everything that he does is just going to be wrong in the eyes of some fans. I don't see it that way. I personally thought going for 2 there was kind of I liked the aggressiveness there. I really did. Because if you get that, then you get the ball back. It's like, hey guys, we drive, score, and kick the extra point, we win. Like,
And
I don't hate it.
And I said before, the analytics say to do that. I don't know what the percentage is or what your better odds is. But I don't even know I didn't even really know that until afterwards. And people are just like, oh, the analytics, like no one else other than I think us are kind of fans are kind of like saying anything bad about that, just because I think it's like a known thing to do when you're down by 2 touchdowns and you score to go for 2 on the first one or something.
I don't know.
But
and the play call, it was a good play call. Like the little rub route, getting Jefferson on the left, it was a really good defensive play.
Well, and something was just wrong with Justin, and I guess we can jump into that here. Something was off with Justin Jefferson. Even on that play, it was just like he was fighting. There's a couple times where he was just like fighting with each other's hands or whatever, like the defenders fighting with his hands. But Justin Jefferson needs to release. Like he could have released. I don't know if I'm assuming that play call was directly to him, and Justin Jefferson usually would at the very least release out of that early, but he just got tied up. Like there's a couple times where Justin Jefferson just got tied up for just longer than I think he needed to, or even again, like I don't think you needed to be tied up. It's just his arms as much as he was. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just unlike Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was an injury or if it was frustration from the McCarthy and his misses, or if it was frustration from not getting penalties. I know that's kind of how O'Connell framed it. I don't know if that's necessarily it, but it was definitely just a day where he didn't seem like his true self. And look, like I get it. Like losing is frustrating. I mean, obviously that's fair. But like at the same time, like you're highly paid, you're a team leader, and just some of the effort he put on display, especially like Nick said earlier after those interceptions, you can't have that out of your superstar. Like look, you kind of knew when you signed your contract, this team was going to go with a young option at quarterback. You had to expect that was going to happen. You had to expect there would be growing pains. And I don't know. Something just didn't seem right yesterday. Hopefully it gets rectified. I think, of course, you got the doom and gloomers that are like, oh, he's going to ask for a trade soon. I don't see it like that. But
we can't because trade deadline's over.
Right. I mean, but something was, I don't know, something was just a little bit off with him yesterday. And it was just all, again, like that first interception, he probably could have gave better effort. The second interception, he tripped. He had the ball in his hands in the end zone on that McCarthy throw that we showed. And yes, McCarthy missed him multiple times, sure. But I don't know. It was just definitely an off day from Justin Jefferson yesterday and kind of disappointing to see.
See, and we'll go back to the KOC for a second because I had to answer this because this is what up, Barber? Welcome in, dude. This is the kind of stuff I don't agree with because KOC isn't a leader of men. And I'm just like, I've never seen a coach that keeps players on his team ready to win at any point in the game. Like, it don't matter if you're down by 20 points and it's the fourth quarter. Kevin O'Connell's team and his players on that team heads are still in the game enough to go and try to win one. And I just disagree. I don't get like the leadership thing. It's different kind of leadership than what most people are used to. I don't think the leadership's the same anymore. It's not about like the Mike Zimmer leadership where I tell you what to do and I'll fucking bench you if you do bad, like that kind of thing. It's more of like you want your players to play their best. Leadership these days is you need to create an environment where your players want to play their best for you and they want to win. You got these guys. Your best leadership is you got a group of people who all want to fucking win no matter what, And I don't think being like, oh, they're just a bunch of pussies. I don't think that's it anymore. And Kevin O'Connell has shown that. And we talked about before, he has the most comebacks in NFL history, or for first 4 years for a head coach, and the biggest comeback. We saw what happened with JJ McCarthy. We saw even in this game, we had a chance to go down there, and the Steelers and this game were 2 games where we had a chance to go down and win one. That was very improbable for that to happen. So that's why I agree with Kevin O'Connell. You can say what you want about his play calling and all those things. The biggest thing I think I disagree with everybody is Kevin O'Connell's a great leader, and his players want to fucking win for him. And I can't, you can't I've never seen a coach ever who has this where you're down by 14 points in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, oh, we can still win this. Kevin O'Connell's been able to do that.
Yeah, no, I share the same sentiment. Like,
what do you mean the Bills? The Bills game? I mean, come on.
I think every game on the stretch of getting to the playoffs and winning games and being in the hunt for a division title is probably is a important game. But
yeah,
I believe all games matter the same on the schedule, wins and losses. But I guess it is
like, and that's it's like insane amount of comebacks. Like, you can't, I don't know, unless you're a huge pessimist, you can't tell me with under Kevin O'Connell that if it's fourth quarter and we're down by a touchdown or 10 points, that you think we're completely out of this and the game's over. Like, there's no way you believe that. It hasn't. We've seen time and time again us coming back in the games and at the very least have a shot to win those type of games.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, and again, this year is probably one of those years where he's going to really have to tighten it up. Because I mean, look, when you have a year like this, after coming off a year like you did with Darnold, you move on from the quarterback, you go to your young guy. Like, yeah, there's going to be some frustrations when things don't go well, but this is the ultimate, like, trying to rally the troops and keep them in games. And so far, he's done that all year long. Like, when things have gotten bad, we bounce back and we find a way to win a game. Like, I don't know. There's been a lot of weird things that happened this year. It's been a frustrating season for everybody. And the fact that they're still out there in these close games all the time, sure, they're not winning them, but they're also trying to develop a young quarterback.
They're winning some of them.
It's a tough road to hoe for sure. But because a lot of times when you're starting a young quarterback, you're not coming off a playoff season, right? So I don't know. I just don't agree. I think Kevin O'Connell's a great leader, and yeah, it's tough this year for sure, but they're still fighting. Everybody except for Jefferson's last game, I guess. Everyone's still in it till the end, trying to find a way to win. So, yeah.
But even like when it comes to Justin Jefferson, he's allowed to have a game that's off. Like, he's basically super. You don't think? You don't think he's allowed to have an off game?
Yeah. I mean, not when you're one of the top 8 receivers.
No, hell no. You're allowed. Every single player has off games. What do you mean? Like, he could be sick for all we know, or his kid could be sick. I don't fucking know. There's reasons. People are human. They're allowed to have off game. Every single Tom Brady's had off games. Mahomes has off games. Steph Curry has off games. And that dude fucking can be a professional golfer and has hit a home run on camera or a hole in one on camera, as well as being the best 3-point shooter of all time. Like, people have off games, except for Kobe in his flu game. And Michael Jordan, But no, for real though, like, Justin Jefferson can come out. It's different if this is like a 2-game, 3-game stretch from Justin Jefferson. But I'm sorry, for me, he can come in and have one off a game. To me, that's no, like, he ain't asking for trades. I
guess it all depends on how it goes forward here. Like, if he puts out the same effort next week, then you got a problem. Then that really does come down on Kevin O'Connell to, like, because you got to get your superstar.
Yeah, that's different. That's different than having one off week.
Right.
Like, one off week, like, you can have, like, who knows, like, anybody could have anything happen to have an off. I don't know. Maybe he was sick and he's still, I don't know. Not making excuses for him, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think I'm not, like, pulling the alarm on Justin Jefferson after one game.
Hey, now. That's not true. I'm always on my game out here.
Yeah, but Casey doesn't get paid enough. That's why.
Yeah, I don't get paid enough. But anyway,
I'm telling you, if I got paid Justin Jefferson, I'd never be off my game. So NFL. But no, for real though. So I don't even know. Yeah. So Justin Jefferson, if that becomes a continuous issue, then that's something to talk about. But otherwise, he did have an off game for sure. But I think everything's going to be all right there. But Jalen Nailor, though, because we'll end with a couple positives in this game. And that starts with Jalen Nailor, who has, and I kind of guess it makes sense because JJ McCarthy was thrown to Jalen Nailor a lot last offseason, going into this year as well. But that chemistry between them and Nailor stepping up on big fucking catches the last 2 weeks was insane. And, for someone who was not on the Nailor train, was kind of at one point, but was off of it by the time this year happened. He's proved me, if there's one player for sure that's proved me wrong this year, it has been Jalen Nailor, and he hasn't been dropping balls and all that good stuff.
Yes, Jalen Nailor is in a contract here.
Yeah, I guess
we had that discussion before. But
I guess he's motivated.
Nailor, like, that's the thing. Last year, when Jordan Addison was out with his ankle injury, Nailor stepped up. Going through preseason training camp, everybody was bitching. I mean, what's his name, Purple Persuasion on Twitter kept saying like Jalen Nailor sucks ass. He can't be a wide receiver 3. Jalen Nailor sucks ass. We got to go get someone else. And look what Jalen Nailor's doing this year. Like, yeah, the stats don't show it those first few games, but he was coming up big when they needed him to. He was playing the wide receiver 3 role well with blocking and everything else the receiver is asked to do when you're not catching the football. But this last game was finally, I mean, the last game, he had the big conversion to end the game. And this week, 5 catches, 124, and a touchdown, plus that beautiful catch from JJ McCarthy at the very beginning there. Like, this was the game where Jalen Nailor finally arrived and showed people what he can be given the opportunity. And kudos to him. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to be here, but Jalen Nailor is going to go out there and he's going to make, I think he's going to make some decent, I mean, he's not making top receiver money, no, but he's going to go out there and get a pretty decent sized payday from another team next year.
There's probably going to be
they were like that hand injury sounded like it was a little bit worse than what people had thought right away. And he fought through it and came out and played week 1 and looked good all the way through.
I mean, made us trade up. What did we give for Adam Thielen again?
Yeah, we gave too much for Adam Thielen.
Did we give a 4th or a 5th?
Yeah, and that was the big thing throughout training camp. He couldn't catch the ball, and that's why people were worried about it coming into this year. But he's one of those guys when it's his time and he shows up and they give him an opportunity, he's going to go make the most of it.
He's been the most reliable guy for JJ McCarthy these last 2 weeks, obviously. Well, that's hard to say because obviously he had one big catch last week, but this week, not even a question, the most reliable guy. And for whatever reason, whenever JJ McCarthy was thrown to Nailor, he was nails. And that wasn't the same case for everybody else there. But yeah, so kudos to Nailor, kudos to Nailor, Justin Jefferson. I think we're going to be okay. If we see the same effort from Jefferson next week or whatever, I think we got a bigger conversation here. But for now, I don't really think it's too worth the conversation. But yeah, so another one, lastly, is just the defense stepping up, which is great to see. Obviously, like you can tell, like we still have the personnel on this defense. And Casey mentioned it earlier. You let Lamar Jackson 179 yards passing, and between him and Derrick Henry, I think they barely hit over 100 yards on the ground. That's huge in this game with a team that has struggled against the runs at many times this season. And with Andrew Van Ginkel, man, with Andrew Van Ginkel back, he brings something to this defense, I think, that's just is a need. And we just need to get some turnovers. That's what we really need over there.
Like Nick says here, and that's the biggest difference between last year and this year. I think they said last year we had 20 turnovers at this point forced.
Yeah.
And this year, I think we have like 8 or something like that. It's just, and again, like this last game, so many tip balls with opportunities to get interceptions and change the game. And they're just not coming down with those this year. And it's unfortunate, but outside of that though, these last 2 weeks, this has been the best of this new Flores defense that we've seen. I mean, Jalen Redmond's popping, Hargrave and Allen are finally making their names known out there. And then of course, I mean, and the return of Van Ginkel isn't nothing. Like, no, I think he's kind of been the reason why all of these guys have finally started to step up. Like he is the heart and soul of this defense, no doubt in my mind, to go along with guys like Cashman and Wilson as well. So yeah. And then Dallas Turner, he keeps progressing. The stupid penalty, of course.
He just can't do something without getting a fucking penalty.
Yeah.
So come on, dude. That was such a fucking big play for you. That sucks.
For sure.
It seems like a stupid thing.
Yeah, and look, and I'm pretty critical of Flores, but you got to give him his flowers in this one, man. These last couple of weeks against some tough opponents, he's really locked in, and he's done a phenomenal job of keeping this team in this game. And then, yes, of course, it comes down to the offense not being able to score.
Yeah, which brings me to kind of back to a potential negative thing or something that I'm worried about, and that's just the fire of this team. It was obvious, like this team just didn't have fire, and Nick said it best. Everyone is playing like a bunch of bitches or pussies or whatever. And that's kind of what it felt like. And it was like, oh, we spent all this money and nobody's stepping up. Well, it seemed now, like seeing how we've played the last 2 weeks, it felt like it was a fire under your ass type of problem. Like there was no spark on this team, and people talked about everything in the locker room and the vibes and da. Well, it does feel like the very least vibes were down, and JJ McCarthy, I think, and Andrew Van Ginkel brought that, and Aaron Jones even kind of brought that spark back, I think, especially because it seemed pretty convenient that as soon as, the Lions go down, score a touchdown against us to Laporta against our defense, and then JJ McCarthy responds, and then the defense steps up. And then even in this game, it was just like the beginning of the season, the defense was continuing to keep us in these games. And that's what I'm kind of worried about is we do, I'm hoping that our offense can bounce back in this one because I do not want to see this defense lose steam and kind of lose that fire. And we got to keep that up. And Too Evil, my guy, what up, dude? GG fire Quasi into the sun and KOC play calls. Thanks for the 199, dude.
For sure. But yeah, kudos to the defense keeping us in this game, especially going on. And again, the last 2 weeks against the higher caliber opponents we've seen in a while. Like you kind of said, their number one thing we took away, and that was their run game with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Did a great job containing Lamar, just like we said we had to. So they did everything they could to keep us into this game, keep us into the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. This team is 4-5. They're 1-3 at home. Big divisional matchup coming up. Say what you will about coaching, play calling, how the players are playing on the field. Like, yeah, it's a frustrating year. It was a frustrating, and this last game was kind of a microcosm of that. The 2-step forward, 1-step back thing, where things just can't all click at the same time. And yeah, it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, this season really is, I mean, especially at this point, all about developing your young franchise quarterback. A lot of good
seeing progress. Like we do need to see some progress.
Yeah, like a lot of good, a lot of bad, but but especially this last game told me there's building blocks you can build off of with him going forward. And yes, that does come down to O'Connell needing to put him in better situations, which definitely means running the football more and not having him throw the ball 42 times. So all of that I 100% agree with. I don't know. I have that little bit of trust in me to say that to think that Kevin O'Connell is going to be able to get this ship right and get it figured out, and continue this development that JJ McCarthy is on. Because again, we've seen a lot of good, but again, I mean, I guess part of the issue you could say is like it always seems like McCarthy wants that big play, and that does kind of seem how Kevin O'Connell likes to call plays. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens from here on out. But that is one of those things. Like you do got to go into these games and just kind of think like just keep in the back of your mind, like it might be frustrating to watch, but at the end of the day, like they're trying their best to develop this young quarterback. And whether we agree with how they're doing it or not, you just kind of got to have that patience, roll with the punches and see how this thing goes.
Yeah. You have to go with the patience, and patience is like by patience. I'm saying like you should give yourself a year with a quarterback in his first year to really see. And obviously you want to see progress there, but we've seen like, at the very least, you've seen ups and downs from JJ McCarthy with a lot of big game-winning mentality ups, and that's the reason why I'm like, you can't quit on this kid after 4 games. It's crazy to me. And he has a lot of what you want in a quarterback. So hopefully we see progression, but we do need to see progression, which is mostly, not making hero plays as well as just getting his accuracy figured out and not getting too amped. So hopefully we continue seeing that, less mistakes moving forward here, but still it's his 4th game. It sucks that our schedule is so fucking hard. I want to play like give him a vanilla team. He ain't gonna get a chance to get a vanilla team. Giants, Cowboys at this point, maybe there, but I'm like, just give him like the Cardinals or something like the Packers got, or the Carolina. Like the Packers get Carolina and freaking the Cardinals. Like fuck you.
but even with all the passes, like there was, and that's the thing, there was still open receivers that McCarthy had chances to hit, and because of like, and I think Kevin Seifert said it, like as the games goes on since he started, it starts to get a little bit worse near the end with the accuracy. I mean, I think he had like 40% off target throws in the 4th quarter. Again, a lot of those you're trying to just push the ball downfield. It happens. But even though he is throwing a lot, there's open players that he is just missing with some of his accuracy issues. And a lot of that does just come down to mechanics, which they've said like the fundamentals are solid, but the mechanic wise on different platform throws is still a work in progress. And it's stuff he's going to keep learning as he gets playing time.
Yeah. I literally just look at it as this. Like we showed those highlights or whatever. Like I've seen everything I want to see from this kid. I've seen touch. I have seen accurate passes for sure with a dude with Hamilton running into JJ McCarthy's face and throws a dime to Justin Jefferson. So you do see that. You see the winning mentality, the comebacks, the throws at the biggest moments and completions at the biggest moments, all of those things. But he has not been super accurate overall for the entire of a game yet. Only 4 games so far. And it's just at a point now where it's just like, that's one thing I'm going to be paying attention to is watching that accurate or that the completion percentage kind of improving throughout the rest of the season. Cause he has all the other tools that you want. So it's just like, I want to see the progression of his accuracy as we move forward here. And then how's the blow? How's the blow up dog? Yeah, that's crazy. By the way, everything's good here, man. I'm getting more settled in here in Colorado, so things are starting to chill out a bit. My kid is basically an adult now, it seems like. At 8 months, 8 months. The difference between a few months is ridiculous when it comes to the baby. But yeah, dude, everything's great. My kid's good. Wife's doing all right. Still putting up with me, but could be doing better. Maybe. I don't know. She's doing good. I don't know. Everything's good. Casey's blew up doll though, having it rough, rough time over there. I think.
Anyway, all right. But keep the smiles on you. Again, like everything's good. Everything's gonna be okay. Patience.
Hopefully, it's gonna be tough though. It's not gonna be easy. We have tough opponents. That's the reality of it. That's a hard part.
And that's why you do got to go into these games. And I don't want to say lower expectations, but go into these games knowing that it's not gonna look pretty all the time. And I know it's tough coming off of last season. I really do understand the frustration, especially coming off of last year, knowing where this team can go. But every year is such a crazy whirlwind, and things happen, and I get it. There's frustrations, but keep SKOL alive, as the win says, because it can get tough out here sometimes. But we're trying our best to develop this young quarterback, and I like what I'm seeing so far. It just does need to continue to improve, and that's a top down thing as well, and it does come from coaching. So there's a lot to like and a lot to be a little bit critical of, but it's a weird season. We're 4-5. We're still in this thing. I guess we'll see how it goes. But patience, deep breaths
with the quarterback. You have to be patient.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you Tuesday breaking down this Bears game. Have a great rest of your week till then.
SKOL Vikes.